Man, I got a little behind this morning, but I'm here. Can't complain.
Don't worry.
Can't
At least you didn't get a
complain.
ticket.
I didn't get a ticket, although the police, they're out there, man.
Yeah.
They are out there for sure.
And there's a lot of news coming in this morning. I was telling you sort of before you, I know you got here a bit late, but we've got Mr. Putin moving his tactical nuclear,
Yeah,
possibly by
some
submarine and
nukes.
train. Yeah,
Yeah, you heard about a train. I heard about a submarine. So he's moving something. How about that?
yeah, and he's hiding in his bunker. So, you know, it's just, it's not. Somebody just needs to take him out.
Yeah, it's a continuous ball of confusion over there, man. Those people, um, and it affects everyone. Anyone that feels like they're not being affected, it affects everyone. From resources being sent over there, to fuel and goods that might be used or gotten from over there. It's all we're all affected by it, even if
Yeah.
you think you aren't.
And I think that the sad part is the Russian people don't know the truth, and you know, people are, I do think it'll end up being a meat market with, you know, the Ukrainians, and you know, against the Russians, to be perfectly honest, because they've been backed by the West. And it was also reported, I've just got it on the screen now, Russia is in trouble. Ukraine forces make more advances in Kherson. So as soon as Kherson goes, that'll be a big take back. So what have you got on the list today then?
Well, put a few things in there, but the first thing was a little bit of scandal. You know, we haven't done a little scandal here in a little while. That's just a couple of them on there that I'd like to touch on. The first one was, so these people in Texas, I know for sure, and I'm not sure if this was specifically in Texas, but it's a big deal when you go to some of these fishing tournaments. You know, you go out there and they usually go by the size of the fish, and then the weight of the fish, and you know, you win money. You know, big prizes that's actually you know, taking place in these contests. But I think this particular one was in Ohio. But these guys, they are champions in this fishing tournament, and you see them come up, and I think the person that was in the lead, when if you look at the video, it was like, let's say 19 pounds, right? Oh, they weighed in at 19 pounds, blah, blah, blah. So the next guy that comes up, and their fish weighs in at 37 pounds. By the eyes, it looks like about the same size fish, but the fish is 37 pounds. Now, what made them look, I don't know, but they started looking inside these fish, and these guys had put lead weights inside the fish to make them
swim more.
Something. Lead weights, man. So, but here's the kicker. These guys have been winning tournaments all over, all the time. So now it just looks like they've cheated. Even if this was the first time they've cheated, which I don't think it is. This is just the first time you got caught. But you cheated, and you get to the point now where no one believes that you won any other times before.
It sounds like the election.
Or the Astros winning in 2017, right? The World Series, right? You get accused of cheating, then nobody wants to see you win. No one wants to believe anything. So if these guys come in next year, even if they're even allowed to, because I feel like
they should be banned for
5
years.
I think so too. If you come in and you're cheating in a fishing contest, come on, bro. What else you cheating on?
But there's some big money for some of these.
There's big money in it. It costs big money to participate. There's money in, you know, just prepping and getting prepared for it. And then of course the prizes are big. But it's unfortunate, man, that these guys are, going through this. But anywho,
wow,
it's unfortunate.
It is unfortunate.
It is unfortunate.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is a little bit of a scandal there. And if you go back in this video, I mean, it's from TMZ, but you know they got the scoop. You get the scoop from TMZ. It's pretty much they deliver pretty good on it. But I think they have it from YouTube. It's about a 2-minute video that shows kind of how they go through and find out all these
790 weighing in big fish. 790 locking it in. 790 weighing in 5. I gotta tell you, you gotta beat 16 some pounds. 33.91, 33.91. Your new leaders locking it in. Team of the year. Definitely Team of the Year champions. Round of applause. You got Chase Kaminsky, Jake Runyon. We need pictures of those fish over here. Stick around a while.
33.
That it? One more. Come on. TJ and Kevin Mowry coming up the scales. They got 3. 616. 616. Not what you wanted, right, TJ? That it?
That's 33 pounds of fish. Four fish. But yeah, that's it. That's unfortunate that they had to cheat, because 4 fish to weigh 33 pounds. Not that it couldn't happen, but man, I mean, you're talking about eight pounds each, basically, of those fish.
What example does it set for the kids? Cause
Yeah,
they have a lot of these junior
you get caught cheating in the competition. That makes no sense.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. Do you want to move on to?
Oh yeah. So the next little piece of scandal. So in Georgia, there's a tight race taking place right now for a Senate seat between the gentleman that won. He was a minister from Georgia. Warnock is his name, and Herschel Walker, who was a Hall of Fame football player. Well, this is not about that. This is about Mr. Walker, and again, all alleged. But that's what we do. We talk about the stuff, all alleged stuff. Herschel Walker, of course, runs under the Republican Party, which is conservative, and the conservative idea is that it's anti-abortion, right? So apparently, there is a young lady. Now you have to consider the source. Because New York Post is not the most reliable, but they're reporting it. There's a young lady that has come forward to say that Herschel Walker in 2011, 2009?
2009.
Paid her to have an abortion.
$750.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Abortion costs $560, $590, whatever the case is. She supposedly gave proof or showed
a receipt
for $575 and the bank transfer or whatever. But it wasn't for the same amount. It was for a little bit more. And her thing is, he gave me a little extra just because I kind of gave you a roundabout
to keep
idea.
my mouth shut.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, 200, not 150.
I gave you a little bit more just to make sure you keep your mouth shut.
Who knows? But she has a card that says, "Hey, get better soon," blah blah blah, with his signature H on there. Now, you put 2 and 2 together, it looks pretty damning. It don't look good for the brother. But I will say this. In his defense.
He's changed his ways.
There you go. There you go. Because look, there's been a lot
Praise the Lord.
been a lot of politicians that have gone back on what they used. Barack Obama was one who said that marriage was between a man and a woman. He said that at one time. But under his administration, same-sex marriage got approved. So I think you can change your position. It's not that he can't change his position. I think it's possible to change your mind.
But this it's something to do as a footballer, though, and earning all that money and all the women were around him.
Yeah,
because of the money.
It's not unbelievable.
I mean, that might have something to do with it.
That might too. But here's the other part that kind of
He misses the start, so he decides, well, perhaps I want to be.
It doesn't look too good for Mr. Walker. So apparently, there's a family member. His son.
That's the best part. His son is the best part.
Comes out and says, "We told him not to run. We told him don't run." But he just said, whatever, because all this dirt gonna come out. We knew, so it doesn't look good for him now. Of course, he's denying it, but I would say, if he did it, he should just admit it. He should just admit it and say, "Hey, man, I had a change of heart. I feel differently about it now."
I have got to be honest. All right, I really enjoyed the video with his son more than anything else. because it was articulated, it was to the point. And I'll be honest with you, the first thing I'm thinking of, I think, in all fairness to everybody, 85-90% of all families have problems and issues amongst the family.
Shoot, that might be low.
All right. So
that might be low.
You know, there's been a recent issue with David Beckham. You know, I follow soccer with one of my heroes, David Beckham, and Brooklyn, one of his sons, where, you know, one of the statements that was made is, you know, we don't let the dirty laundry, if you want to, of the family outside of the family, which I thought was a pretty. But this was a pretty interesting statement that sort of came in.
Yeah, it was, and for him to, he's saying it's a flat out lie. He's denying it, but man, the son coming out and saying something, I don't know, that it doesn't look good. I would hope that my son would have my back, but if he didn't, I don't know what their relationship is. But you know, he's saying that apparently there's some other kids out there that are
his.
Oh yeah, I think Herschel Walker admitted to some other kids with some other women. So it's not like he's been a shining example of fidelity when it comes to that in that part. But that is not outside the norm for NFL players for sure. But I think he should just fall on the sword, man. That's my thought. Kind of like when they were trying to grill Bill Clinton, and he was like, "I did not have sexual relations with that woman."
He should have came out.
It's like, bro, just say it happens. You know, it is what it is. Just admit it. If you did it, great. If you didn't, I mean, I guess you got. It's just people are going to have their own opinions anyway. And with your son coming up against you right now, it does not look good. It definitely doesn't look good.
Well, we'll soon see what happens at the elections. We'll see.
Oh yeah, not that I don't know if that'll give us any answers, but yeah, we will see because they're neck and neck.
It probably won't.
All right, your turn, man. What you got?
U.S. Army misses out on recruiting goal.
Man, that's crazy. I saw that. Yep.
I don't think it's crazy. I think with all the wars going on,
nobody wants to go. There's no
same thing as what Russia are doing.
There's no patriotic pride, I guess. If you say that you love your country, it's almost like a bad thing now. I want to go fight for my country. You know, people look at you crazy.
I don't know about that.
No, it is. It is. If you say that you are I want to make America great to be we're the greatest nation, and you have some kind of pride in it, it's not as great, not like it used to be. And I think people are not they're not looking to do that. You know, when kids were younger, they were, I'll go fight for my country. But now, nah. I talk to my sons about it. I don't know if you talk to yours, but when I talk to my sons about it, man, they don't have any interest. And all the benefits you can get from doing it that are available.
I suggested it too when he was about 16, 17, 18.
Oh, yeah. My grandfather did it.
He had no interest at all.
Yeah, he'd be halfway to a retirement almost.
You know,
at this point.
I couldn't apply anyway, so.
But with the war out there, I think that's probably playing on the back of everybody's mind.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it is. Well, you know what they're going to start doing is throwing in bonuses and incentives to get people to sign up. And what I've heard is all of them had trouble meeting the goals, but the Army missed theirs. The Air Force just barely squeaked theirs by, but they did that by rolling over some of their delayed entry kind of folks. But they're starting behind the game for next year. So if they didn't miss it this year, they're probably going to miss it next year for sure.
What about Marines?
So we got to do something different. I think they're Marines made it. I think the Army was the ones that because the Marines are much smaller than all the rest of them, and they're part of the Navy anyways. But
plus they're harder to get in as well.
Yeah, well, you kind of be
Really
I mean, it's a different branch. That's with a good level of pride as a Marine. Once a Marine, always a Marine, right? But yeah, that's a bit telling, man.
But I thought that was interesting with the. And then the next point I want to bring up, Homey, who is a real estate brokerage, flat fee. At one time, flat fee brokerages were sort of trendy, wasn't they?
Were they under, because the name Johnny Hanna, that definitely sounds familiar, but Homie, I don't remember seeing a whole lot of them around here.
Group of different under.
I guess it's not sustainable. With the cost of things now and how business is going, just being a flat fee. I guess if you have no brick and mortars or anything else like that, you could get by, but just a flat fee is probably not enough, huh?
Well, I just think what's going to happen with the industry, hopefully we're going to go back to brokers having a bit more control, because that's really what monitors the standards of the real estate agents, or that's what it should be. And also with the brokers providing real assistance and training.
Oh, yeah.
That's
kind of gone away a bit.
Be. I think one of the negatives is you've got a lot of part-time agents. Well, no, not a lot, but you've got some part-time agents.
Oh yeah, there's a lot
that let realtors down because they're not offering the full customer service that they should do. And I say to anybody that's working with an agent, the first question you need to ask them is, are you part-time or full-time? Can I get hold of you when I need an amendment doing to extend my contract, or because that's.
And not only that, are you versed enough to kind of really know? Because there's many out there that don't really
and
know.
There's been so many changes in the last 2 to 3 years in so many different ways. Which is, I think, for the best, and I really do think for the best. I think it would. I think it would be good. I think it has been good as well the last 2 to 3 years. The changes that have been made to some of the contracts make a bit more sense. Sometimes I think they're overcomplicated, but I think they've actually improved in it the last 2 to 3 years. And then I'm going to hand you to your favourite subject, number 5.
Is it Trump? I don't want to talk about Trump.
Trump comes next.
Oh Lord.
Mr. Donny comes next. Actually, it's. Well, let's talk about Twitter.
Number 5, back on the table, man.
Oh, goody. Yeah.
Do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing with Elon Musk, honestly?
I'm kind of torn now because there's so much shakeup that he's caused in it.
And that's all I think he's doing. He's just, he's too opinionated. He's not acting like a CEO, in my opinion. The price of Tesla has gone down. There's lawsuits coming out now, with Tesla.
Really?
Yeah. There's lawsuits supposedly coming out against Tesla. So
I think there's a lot of confusion surrounding this whole deal. I understand kind of his position where he wants it to be a less censored platform, which I agree with that. I think social media being censored up to the point of where you're truly talking about violence against a person or that kind of deal, should not be. If it's a subject that I want to talk about and I got a audience that feel the same way, then I should be able to talk about it. There's tons and tons of things on YouTube, Instagram that, I don't necessarily agree with, but it's there. If I don't want to look at it, I don't have to look at it. But I think he's trying to open that platform so it could be free for use. Now, the unfortunate thing about it is once he gets control of it, then, of course, he can do with it what he pleases. But I think he could probably modernize it a bit more to where, it does a lot more than it used to. Because Twitter is just kind of one of those, folks are on there, but it hadn't done a whole lot of radical changes like some of the other platforms have over the years. Shoot, I don't even use Twitter that much. I do post,
And
but I don't use it that much.
And he's saying it could be more profitable because of putting adverts on there. And
Yeah, and that's the other thing. You don't want to have a whole ton of adverts.
there was an article somewhere, I forget what the actual details were to be definitive about it, but they was saying that, you know, like YouTube, there's maybe 10 minutes an hour of advertising that they do every hour, you know, and all these different, like CBC or whoever it is, you know, CNN, whoever you're watching, Fox.
Oh, yeah, all of them.
They've all got these so many minutes of advertising per hour, and that's how they're, you know, making their money.
Because that's where the people are going. People are streaming a lot. Shoot, the other day there was a small, I guess, stalemate, so to speak, on Dish Network, with Disney. So, you know, all the Disney platforms, you know, Disney Plus and ESPN, ABC, all those things, they weren't even showing on Dish, and there was a ton of customers that couldn't access those things, and you know, because they wanted them to pay more for this streaming service that Disney has, but it just hasn't been what some of these streaming platforms expected to be, because there's so many of them now. It's so many of them, man. You can't even keep up with it. Apple TV, Hulu, Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, Stars, and I mean, it's just so many.
Yeah. One of the somebody was saying the other day that the average person now has 7 streaming services.
That's about accurate.
Yep.
Yeah, I got one.
You got one?
Oh,
Which one? What do you use?
Netflix.
Oh,
That's all I use.
Wait, you have one? Wait, hold on. Do you have? Well, technically, I have. One
I have
stream.
YouTube, Netflix. That's it.
well, YouTube is kind of for everybody. You don't really pay for YouTube,
I
but
like YouTube. I like
everything's on YouTube.
Everything. You can get free thing. You can get free videos on YouTube.
Yeah, which I do.
You can get the Olympian Table podcast on YouTube.
There you
Make
go.
sure you share and subscribe so you get the notifications when the show goes live.
I gotta make a slogan for that one. We could be using that every week.
And let's do it.
Anyway,
What else we got, sir?
ooh, we got the.
We got a video to show you, James, to get your opinions on this.
Okay, I'll have to
You've
see
been-
what we got.
You've been set up.
Oh god, yeah.
Here we go. You ready for this?
Oh my god.
I don't know.
We need to be the party of nationalism, and I am a Christian, and I say it proudly. Can you click the button where she says about
Hold on, we got
from one?
one.
Yeah, do it from 1 minute, just to move it back. There you go. You got to go from about there.
Right?
Yeah.
And now we're just gonna play this video. James, take a watch. Yeah, you're gonna love this.
Not the corporate PACs, not those people. That's not who the Republican Party should represent. We need to be the party of nationalism, and I'm a Christian and I say it proudly. We should be Christian nationalists. And when Republicans learn to represent most of the people that vote for them, then we will be the party that continues to grow without having to chase down certain identities or chase down certain segments of people. We just need to represent Americans, and most Americans, no matter how they vote, really care about the same things.
Comments. She's right about we saying we need to be American, and most Americans are the same. But the other week he said about, well, what is a Christian nationalism? That's what Christian nationalism is. That's what she's got in her head, that it should be part of. There was one video I even seen from her when she wanted it in the public school system.
I don't hear, and the Young Turks, they're always slanted one way. So this video is one of those videos. But anywho, the only problem I think that she runs into with this comment is the Christian part, because America's not a Christian nation anymore. we have.
But it should be strongly part of the nation. I have no problem with
Part
that.
of for sure, but we have melded into many different cultures here,
But the
right?
strength
Everyone's not a Christian.
Right, but the strength of this nation, right, when was formed on, regardless of the state and faith, would always be completely separate.
Well, that's what that church and state was supposed to be. They were supposed to be that way, but I think she's talking about just in belief. At least that's what I'm gathering from it. I don't think there's anything wrong with having a nationalist thought process.
But do you not think that what she's basically saying there is that she wants everybody to be of Christian faith?
That's what I think. That's what I said. I think that's where she goes off because everything isn't Christian. That could be offensive to people, but it's her opinion. That's what she feels they should be. I think the nationalist part, I don't have a problem with because you live here. You live here. You should want this to be the greatest country, greatest nation in the world with all of our interests, in the forefront. There's nothing wrong with that. But you could be a Muslim and feel that way. You could be Jewish and feel that way. You could be Buddhist and feel that way.
But if you don't treat people properly, then they're not going to feel that way.
Who doesn't treat people? The government? Just everyone?
Everyone. If everyone doesn't treat one another in a...
Well, we're not going to do that anyways because everyone's so selfish.
Indeed, yeah.
We're just so selfish
if everyone
anyways.
doesn't treat one another with...
I talked to a guy yesterday who I've known for several years, and it was very, God's got a good a way of just kind of hitting you in the gut a little bit with a little bit of something, at times. But he just said, man, I was talking to people, and I just told him, man, you're probably the nicest guy I know. And I was like, what, me? I said, oh man, you're too kind. He said, oh man, I'm serious. He said, man, the way you treat people, the way you make people feel when you talk to them, whether you agree with them or not, you're respectful. I said, yeah, you're one of the good ones. And it was stuff that he was saying that I always try to be, but you never know if you come across that way because I never want to be offensive to anyone. No matter where my beliefs are, I'm not going to beat somebody down because they believe differently. I can love you for what you believe, even if I don't agree with it. I'm not going to disrespect. I'm not going to stand by and allow somebody to be disrespected for what they believe in. Not in front of me. It's like, hey, you can say what you want, but I ain't gonna let you beat nobody down or mistreat or bully. I just try to live that way. So it was very it was quite surprising to hear that from him. I hadn't talked to him in several months, and he lives in Austin, but I thought it was pretty refreshing, man, to kind of get that from him and feel like, that's kind of where I've lined up with him. So
perhaps he wants to take you fishing. He's got some lead weights for you.
Hey, possibly. Could. But I think that's to your point. We have to be that way, to care about people, love people. That's really what we should be. And I don't think that's party driven. That has nothing to do with your party. You just need to be a person that believes in loving people, man. And you can love your country and you can love people regardless of what party you're in. I hate the parties anyway. They both suck, if you ask me, because neither one of them that are in the forefront are what they used to be when they began.
I agree with that.
It's just like if you so gung-ho on a party, you're delusional.
I showed an interest in American politics from '97.
Yeah.
Have you got that article with the Arizona one?
That's going. Yeah, that's gonna be fun for you. Yeah. Okay.
Because it sort of leads on to. And these were articles that I sort of came up with this morning that came up, and this is in this is in BBC.com. I love BBC because
they got Benny Hill.
They did have Benny Hill.
Yeah, man.
But it's not left or it's not right. There's no benefit
We don't care. We ain't over there anyway, y'all.
Yeah.
You know.
And then U.S. midterms, Trump voters who see a storm coming. Just scroll down a little bit over there, and it says the upcoming midterm elections for U.S. Congress, the first nationwide vote since Trump supporters stormed the U.S. Capitol nearly 2 years ago, have many Americans on edge. The BBC's Katie Kay has been finding out why. Karen and Steve don't want to take up arms, but if Republicans lose in November, this elderly Arizona couple say a civil war is coming, and yes, they will fight.
Fight who?
They have discussed it between them and feel that taking up arms is their best option. It is at this point that our conversation grew a little dark, and my faith in the strength of American democracy grew a little shaky. And I think that is such a shame that Americans are speaking that way to one another. Just like that's what I'm sort of following on.
Well, here's the deal. He says, Karen, how fitting, and Steve, an elderly Arizona couple. They don't make up the demographic of Americans, man. I mean, I think people, they do these interviews.
Can't even get them for your army, but they want to fight against one another.
Hello. Come on. Really? Who you going to fight against? That's just the dumbest thing. Civil war is stupid. That happened once already. You know, it was over, business dealings, but it doesn't come out well. It's dumb. Why are you fighting? What are you fighting for? It's called voting. If you're voting, you can fight and get these people out to vote. If you want to fight something, hey, we need you to get out to the polls. We're trying to flip the House or flip the Senate, whatever you're trying to do. Fight that. Let's not fight each other. It's dumb. It's pointless. Because guess what? These senators and congressmen don't care about you. They don't care about you. You just got to hope that you can find someone that lines up as closely to your beliefs as possible. Period. They'll never come sit down and have coffee or tea with you. So why are you fighting? You're going to be in jail because you got your gun and you went and shot your neighbor because he's got a blue stance and you got a red stance and you killed him and now you in prison with 3 meals and a cot. Why are you in here? Oh, I killed my neighbor because Trump, Trump wasn't in office, but the person that Trump endorsed, they lost the election. So that's why you're in prison, because you killed him? You're a fool. You're a fool.
Yeah, we really went downhill with a lot of election mentality on that one.
It's unfortunate, man. It's unfortunate. People do stupid stuff like this, and the problem is, man, Trump will die and go on to wherever he gonna go, and you'll still be living with the fact that you killed your neighbor. He doesn't know you from a man on the street. As a matter of fact, if he walked past you, he might look down on you because he's definitely an elitist, a classist. But I don't know. People get so gung-ho and wrapped up in this crap, bro. I just get sick of it. I get sick of it. We blame everything on each other rather than being accountable for ourselves. We don't hold each other accountable. That's what we don't do.
No, we do not.
Yeah. And the other thing I just want to say is I just want to sort of spread our thoughts and sadness about Loretta Lynn died yesterday.
Oh, yeah, man. I heard about that.
Yeah.
I mean, she
90
was a
years young.
legend. She lived her life, longer than a lot of people will even look forward to living. But she was an icon, for sure.
Fought for a lot of women's rights.
She was, 90 years old and lived and did her thing. So, Loretta Lynn, God rest her soul. 6 decades of country music, they said. That's a long time.
Yeah.
My mom was a big fan of hers.
That's a long time, man.
Yeah. And then can you pull up the link submission? There's 2 more links I put in for you. And then also, have you heard about more scandal with Meghan Markle and good old Prince Harry?
Oh, no. Some more scandal?
Yeah. This came out this morning.
What these fools doing
This
now?
came out this morning.
They need to stay out the
Hot
news.
off the press. Hot off the press. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry are reportedly facing problems with the new book coming out.
The book or Netflix?
Oh, this is the book.
Wait a minute. That was the.
Netflix.
Oh, this is the Netflix doc. Okay. I heard there was problems with
Oh,
the
okay.
book as well. But
Well, this one they got like $100 million for the Netflix deal, didn't they? There's a lot of money tied up in this thing.
Oh yeah. Why on earth would they need money instead of the?
Yeah, because he renounced his royal highness.
Oh, lovely.
Big dummy.
well, she wasn't getting paid enough for the walkabouts. That's what it was.
That's because Meghan Markle still wants to be a celebrity.
You know.
That's her thing. She still wants to be a
You are-
celebrity.
Meanwhile, Prince Harry's upcoming memoir apparently had to be edited as well. Royal commentator Josh Rom told The Express that the Duke of Sussex is scrambling to re-edit some chapters, some passages of his book. He apparently didn't anticipate the love and support they had received from the rest of the family at the time of Queen Elizabeth's passing. I really think they've stabbed themselves in the foot with the English people, you know.
I think they're growing weary
They opened up,
of it.
you know, they opened up to Meghan Markle, and I do think that it's tough being a royal. It's not what everybody thinks it's going to be. I think it's tough. It takes a lot of dedication. Give them some peace to themselves, you know.
Literally have to have
I mean, did you know that there was one year the Queen woke up, and at the bottom of her bed there was somebody sitting at the bottom of her bed. They'd broken into Buckingham Palace. There's 442 rooms, or 400 and something rooms in Buckingham Palace.
How could they not
And how
know
did
this
they even
person?
find the room? And there was somebody sitting at the bottom of the bed.
While she slept?
That was some time back. Yeah.
That would freak me out. Freak me out.
Imagine knocking on each room. Excuse me, is this the Queen's room?
Yeah, that's kind of crazy, man. That's an
And
over
the
the
other
top.
thought I think was interesting, if you could bring it up. I don't know you've seen this, but Miss Texas is the first Asian American Miss Texas.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, and
She's probably beautiful, huh?
Oh,
What's her name?
gorgeous. I'm pulling her up right now.
Is that the one that was from Friendswood?
That's the one.
no, I thought she was from Dallas.
Hold on.
No, I thought she was from here.
Really?
I don't know.
I've never
I
met
think the school she goes to SMU, which is up in that Dallas area. But I thought she was from Friendswood.
And then
Can you scroll
there's
it?
another Asian American that is competing in Miss USA, which I think is November or December.
She's not competing. She should,
She's
right?
competing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But all the state competitions, I think, are going on now.
Scroll that article down, Everett. Miss Building Texas School. It doesn't say here what high school she went to. It just shows college. But I could have sworn that she went to school. Filipina America is what they calling her, but we know. Yeah, here we go. Friend, is this her? Let me make sure it's the same lady. Yeah, Gabriel. Yeah, this is a different young lady that I'm looking at. All right, but anywho, that's history.
There's an advancement of the times. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And the housing market, James, how's it been this week?
Same old, same old. We're gonna cover more of that tomorrow.
Good. I've
So I
got
can
a
kinda
guy. I've
let
actually
you
got a
know.
guy tomorrow coming in from a solar panel company.
For who? What kind of
solar
company?
panel
Oh, okay.
about solar.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
that'd be
about
cool
people
for you.
putting solars on their house, and if they put solar on their house, they get 30% paid by the government.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's a good opportunity. He's going to explain how the system works and how popular it's been.
That's cool.
So we'll have him here to explain the situation and, you know, the benefits of solar. I've sort of got my questions.
Too, because I've had people come on my house and try to sell it, and I've got a lot of people.
I've got a lot of friends that have got a Tesla, and what they do is they get their electric with Reliant, and Reliant they get free nights and weekends.
Mm-hmm.
So they charge their cars up on nights and weekends. So why do you need solar panels? What's the benefits?
They're going to tell you because you can sell it back to the
No,
grid.
they're not doing that. They're not doing that no more. The reason is because Nick came to see me, and we looked at getting solar the weekend and putting it on our roof. And we ended up signing a contract to get it done. But you can't get. At one time, the government had a program where they would cut you a check and pay it back. So for investors, it was a really good thing, because what they would do is put solar panels on the roof. They'd charge the electric to the tenants, because they would have had to pay the electric company anyways. And then if there was any electric left, the landlord would get a check. All right. Well, they stopped that program. Now what you do, you get credits. So you get credits against future credits
On your bill?
on your bill.
Oh. Okay.
But it's a bit of a gamble, because how do you really know what future
Fuel prices are going to be.
And one of the reasons why we said, we'll get solar was, well, you know, if we get solar, then the idea is that if we have a hurricane like we had, like, you know, the poor Floridians have had, which, you know, is still a mess. And our heart goes out to them, by the way, for all the people in Florida, that we'd still have electric. But we found out on, when was it? Saturday night, that's not the case. They shut the whole grid down and you're part of the grid. Because if not, there could be a grid lineman working on, you know, a lineman working on the lines, and because you've got electric coming through,
It can shock them.
He's getting fried.
Yeah. Wow, that's interesting.
So it'll be an interesting talk tomorrow on, you know, on the Texas Real Estate Show, just generally about solar.
That'll be cool.
Information.
Good, interesting conversation.
All right, guys. Well, that's another week. Oh, we've kept it to an hour. That's pretty cool. All right, then. Well, till next week, we'll see you guys. Please like, subscribe, and do all the good stuff for us. We would appreciate it. If you need a loan, you know, the links are below for James. Contact James. If you're looking to changing career, become an investor, or you just like to buy or sell your home, or you want even a valuation on your house, you know, please use the link below for C21 Olympian, Texas. So we look forward to seeing you. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Take care.